Hello and welcome to another episode of the Podrock. I am actually recording this, also, microphone. Well, it's nothing new for you, but it's new for me, because this is in fact the first one I record, because yesterday was like, I haven't recorded in way too long. And, so I felt like, what am I supposed to record? Because I have several plans already as to, what I want to record. Sorry, I just sneezed like 5 times or something, so my throat is not okay. So I already have several plans on episodes I want to do of this, and I don't know how they turn out yet because I haven't done them yet, but I want to do them, and I have a plan. It's just that it felt hard to I have an episode already which I want to do first before all the others. You want to upload first, but I'm actually doing this one first. So I don't know. I'm guessing, if I was to just guess, this will probably not be the second episode either. This will probably be like towards the 4th to 6th, somewhere. I am not sure. It also depends on if something happens, in the world which I want to talk about. But I'm also trying to keep this as politically free, not free, but politically politically dry, as in I might mention it here or there, but I might mention my opinion in passing, but I don't want to speak about my opinion. However, I do suspect that we will, or I will, cover political topics sooner or later. I might not cover wars that get censored a lot, or like that get removed a lot, that the government of either side doesn't want to recognize or talk about. In that case, I might not talk about them. But I do want to talk about geopolitics, because I'm actually extremely interested in geopolitical issues and geopolitical situations of all sorts. It surely sounds weird coming from this weird guy you're looking at, but I'm actually incredibly interested. So I might I might make a joke here or there, like, oh, the Iran certainly won't like this one,
Hello, there are timestamps. Goodbye.
Yeah, but the idea of this episode is essentially, I'll just speak anything that I can think about for whatever amount of time. I want this episode to be at least half an hour, because... Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to... Excuse me. Keep that as the minimum. And then it sounds like I'm a wreck. I really am not. It's just that this mask doesn't make anything better. It's not even a mask. You remember that I said that these were 2 towels? Well, they aren't anymore. They haven't been in a long time, actually. It was just like the first few times I used a mask that they were 2 towels. These days, they're 2 shirts. And I want to remove the misconception that they are 2 towels, because they are, in fact, not 2 towels anymore. And I'm using this microphone and not this one. This one, first off, the pop filter is physically gone. I have no idea where it went. And secondly, it's bad. And there is a third reason which I will not disclose. What could that be? It's not broken, it's not that. What could that be? Why would I disclose it? Why would I disclose it? Well, I have plans, of course. I always have plans, but you might not always see them or hear about them, which is intentional. I do want to surprise you, even though when I say you, I'm probably speaking to... Well, as of uploading this, like... I don't know how many people will get it even to this point of the video, to be honest. Say, 4 people might be reasonable, it's sad. Considering how long I've been doing this for people, is why my eyes. Look at my eyes. They're weird. For people watching me at this point, like getting to this point of the video, and I probably know 4 of them. That's sad, honestly. Especially considering once more how long I've been doing this technically. I did have this channel before if you go look at my oldest video, don't look at it because it's bad. Just look at the date of the oldest video. That isn't the actual oldest video, because I had my channel going for a long time before that, under a different name, under a different everything really, and it was even worse than the worst stuff that I have now. And so don't even go there. There's no point. Or like you can't, it's gone. I deleted them. But it's even worse. It's even worse. What I focused my channel on at that point was Clash Royale gameplay and chest openings. Why, you may wonder? Well, because I didn't know how to... This is so typically me, actually. This is so typical. I didn't know how to record on the computer, and thereby I recorded I recorded screen on my phone instead. And I had facecam once, and I did have a mask on. It was not this, and it was just... Actually, I have the mask here. You'll see this. So, I was abroad a long time ago, and there were masks of different kinds, and I was like, I want one, because then I can use it, YouTube related, and this was my favorite. And this is editing Podrock. Just wanted to quickly say for those who listen to the podcast that is in fact a troll face. Like, the mask is a troll face with 2 holes for eyes. We're getting to the holes soon. So there are 2 holes here. That looks not okay. There are 2 holes for the eyes that you're supposed to see. Was it good? No. Honestly, this is better than what that was. Cause, whoa. Ooh. This is better than what that was. Cause I see better. And that's it. That one also broke on several occasions. Also, my arms look really small. They are bigger than they appear to be here. And they have also grown a bit since last time I recorded. Man, it has been too long. What else should I mention? I don't know, there are many things. Geopolitics, sure. I don't know. India's getting powerful. Once again, no opinions said. No opinions said, just facts stated and discussed. That's a good way to put it. India's getting powerful. They have been for a long time, and now it's truly showing the way they landed. I am. It's very hard to say no opinions, but I'm saying it politically neutral in a sense, right? So it is. I do believe that it is impressive how India did land a thing on the moon, on a south side on the moon, I think it was, especially. That's even harder to accomplish. Then there's this India-Canada mess right now. It's interesting to say the least. I will not pick a side, but it's interesting. India, right? I'd say one of the most important countries to keep track of 2023, like right now, is India. Honestly, it is it's a fascinating place. Really, it's a fascinating place. Yeah, if you get the opportunity to see some videos of Varanasi, that's the town, I think. Look it up. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah, India is cool. Or really, it's truly becoming powerful, and it's also clear that in most geopolitical issues, India. This is a bit of an analysis, honestly. In most geopolitical issues, India wishes to stay neutral or relatively neutral. However, they have two clear enemies, or well, enemies, rivals, enemies, whatever. Pakistan, for all reasons, honestly. Just look up the history of modern day India, and you'll see why instantly. Essentially, there have been. Once again, I'm not picking a side in the conflict, but India and Pakistan, they don't get along, and they haven't for the longest of time. And China, because China has done some things. China, okay. Here's the politically neutral version. China they had a war in the 50s, I think, and China claims some territory which is internationally recognized as India, and I think India claims some territory which is internationally recognized as China, but that might be wrong. Both territories might be internationally recognized as India, so I'm not entirely sure there, but I think that's what it is. And so obviously when someone claims your territory, you get mad at them, because that's quite the common theme, which we totally don't see at all in other conflicts in possibly Eastern Europe at this very moment, where they get mad and things happen and lives are lost. Most definitely. Yeah. Trees are cool. I'm just switching subjects because once again I just want to keep on talking about whatever in a while. Trees are cool. Trees are interesting because trees. There's so many things about trees, right? Trees. First off, they're huge. Like, compare them to other living things in general. They're huge. And then add the roots to that. Don't do this motion. Note that don't do that motion. Trees are, like, don't talk about so huge something is, do that motion. That's not a good idea. I could do it with this. Don't mind that, actually. I might censor that. I don't know. Should I? No, it's not something bad. Okay, I will censor it now, just because that makes it even sillier. It's nothing bad. It's a of sorts containing but it's not an egg, and it's not it's like except with mostly milk. That's the short version of what that is. And without saying any brands, once more, there might be a brand that I discuss, actually. There are several brands or several companies that I have quite strong opinions about, honestly. But once more, I want to keep this politically dry. Well, that's a very good term, actually. I want to keep this politically dry, and the companies in general, they're sort of in this gray zone of political and not political, whereas some companies, calling them whatever you believe they may be, could be extremely political, whereas others, everyone just, yeah, that's the case. Everyone agrees that X company does Y, and it's really bad. Or really good, who knows? yeah, trees. Trees are huge. Like, just compare them to anything else that's alive. They're huge. They're also try if you punch a cow. If you're Hindu, don't do that. But if you punch a cow, how will that feel? How will that feel, and who will it hurt the most? Compare that to punching a tree. They're on a different level, right? Trees are so powerful, and it's also like we use trees as building material, both in paper and as planks, as wood. If we did this, like, we don't do this with anything else. We eat animals. We eat parts of plants or entire plants. We eat fungi. However, trees, it's the only thing that we really, or maybe it's not the only thing, but it's one of the only things that we clearly use as crafting material, right? Oh, we might actually cloth. Cloth is actually sometimes also part of plants. But we don't use animals. Just an observation. We don't use animal parts anymore. I don't want to point out. I think I want to say most of humanity, but I'm guessing all of humanity, honestly, during the hunter-gatherer period, used, bones as tools, as instruments too. I believe there might even be bone parts and instruments still, because they're supposed to sound a certain way. But it sure is interesting, isn't it? Like, we stopped using bone. That's an analysis once again. We stopped using bone. Why did we stop using bone? I don't know. But we have stopped using bone, and that's just the case. And even surely there are things out there that does still use bone, but it's not to the same extent as it could be nor used to be. Is what I'm saying. Hello, future Podrock speaking. And boy, if you think this episode is boring, boy, do I have a treat for you. Basically, do you think this is boring? Well, you, and you, hello, you can suggest what you want me to do, what you want me to talk about, or even better, possibly, you can be on here. I have guests as well. I don't just rant madness like this. I have guests as well. And guess what? You could be that guest. How? Well, ask. I haven't really figured out how that works yet. Comment, send a DM, whatever. If you know me, you have a great chance. If I know of you, you have a great chance. If you're something special, like a butler at the White House, that wasn't inspired by the movie The Butler, it very much was actually, then you're also welcome. You are welcome if you're none of these and you have some idea, but your chances are worse. I did this segment because I have seen other podcasts do random segments like this in the middle of the thing. Thank you for your time and consideration and thoughts and prayers. Because now you'll think about it, Now think about which episodes you want to see. You'll see this many times. You'll hear this many times. You can skip it. I've got timestamps. Trees. I actually heard that there was apparently a time before the dinosaurs. There are many times before the dinosaurs. But there was one specific time before the dinosaurs where there were giant trees. No, no way! Where there were giant fungi that functioned as that times trees. I also know that. Oh, what are they called? I actually no idea. Well, you know these. Maybe you have no idea what I'm talking about now. You know these plants that are mostly consistent of massive leaves that sort of. They don't look like palms. Imagine if palms were made of, palms, they just have one big leaf. Imagine if the big leaf had like patterns in it and wasn't an entire leaf but was like, Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? And they're bushes, right? They're bushes, and we have them in Sweden. They look kind of tropical, but we have them in Sweden anyway, and they're actually quite common. I've seen them many times. Like you don't need to do anything special to witness them. But there was a time where these bushes were specifically with this kind of plant wasn't just bushes, but there were trees there were these as well. No, I did don't do the motion. If I have to describe that something's towering, I will have to do this motion, and I shouldn't call it out, because that only makes it worse. And my eyes I hate how my eyes look here, because it's literally the only part of me, except for my pretty little hands, that you see here. And they look like balls. They don't look like balls, it's just balls. Balls is such a funny word. I know I sound like I'm 5 years old, but balls, like just the word balls, and especially you can have so many variations. Balls. I think I will start to do a thing. I don't know if I've done it before, but I think we'll start doing a thing where when I edit and I realize that what I'm saying now is absolutely insane, I'll just put one of these asylum rooms. These rooms where like the walls kind of look like pillows. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they put people that are not quite right, and their brains are a bit on the limit, I suppose. Usually, and I also thought about these rooms yesterday. I think it was why. Like, I'm guessing they make everything soft so that they don't hurt themselves in some way, but they are so bare. Like, there is a form of torture, which is literally called, like, the white room or whatever, where you put someone in a perfectly white room, where everything they interact with is white. Everything is white but themselves, unless you're me, because look at this. I'm more white than a shirt. That is brighter than that, and this is supposed to be white. Look at that! Whoa! That's whoa! You're so white, dude. You'd shine. If you were outside in the night, you would be like the second moon, the second coming of the moon. That's a reference to the Bible. That's you may get it. I don't know. Anyway, so those rooms. The issue with them, this is falling off, so I'm having troubles with that. The issue with the rooms is that, at least in my mind, they're extremely similar to a kind of torture room, where the idea is that, the brain stops working properly, and that messes you up, of course. And so these rooms, they're designed in a way that I'm like, wouldn't you become worse if you're in that room? It doesn't look comforting. It looks like you are in a prison. But it's worse than a prison, because there's nothing there. At least in a cell, there's like, you have a toilet, you have a sink, you have a table, maybe, you have a bed. These rooms, they're completely bare. I hate that. I wouldn't want to end up there. Yeah. So like, if I were to end up there, I would prefer if I started seeing things than if I didn't start seeing things. Because if you see things in a situation like these, then you suddenly have a refuge, right? You suddenly have something to it's not a grip of reality, but it's a grip of something, right? Because in that you can't even grab the walls like physically, but also literally you don't have anything which associates with reality or with fantasy or anything. It's just, it is so it is a torture, or it feels like one at least. The rooms. The rooms sounds like the back rooms, except worse. The rooms. I will rent the rooms. Yeah, so maybe I should just do this. Maybe this is simpler. This has a different feel to it. Hold on. This looks quite decent, actually. So imagine the rooms. If you started seeing things, that would help, wouldn't it? Because then you have something. Imagine if you saw that. This is the one thing that I would actually really think was really, really cool. Imagine if you started seeing things, and if you saw a person, and then you would begin a conversation with them. That would be so cool. That would be like, actually, imagine talking to someone who isn't real. It's like talking to an AI, except you're talking to a something which your brain has manifested. That's so cool. Even though, you know, it's quite the warning sign, if nothing else. I would want that. I would definitely want that. For some reason, my brain also. This is another thing that I can talk about. Dreams are crazy. The things they can help you with, because that's a theory about dreams, that they're supposed to like prepare you for situations. Like it's essentially a simulation of often extremely weird situations. I've dreamt the one dream I keep on thinking about these days is a alien invasion dream, which isn't even the first one. I think there was a time traveling aspect to it, because of course it was. I don't remember. Well, I do remember, but I don't want to disclose this actually, because it's a bit personal, really. You know, dreams. It's technically very personal, because it's a clear-cut peek into someone's brain, which is a very weird way to put it, but that's what I said. But imagine if you could rewind dreams. Imagine if you could, like, not lucid dreams, but rather dreams replay. Because I've also heard that you don't even remember. You remember 1/10 of the dreams that you dream during the night. You remember, which is why I never remember any dreams, because I don't think I dream that much, do I? Anymore. I used to when I was smaller, but now I don't. And I had this one dream which kept happening over and over and over, and it was so weird. And the first time, because like there was this, I won't say exactly what it was, but it was this idea where the first time it happened, I was like, okay, how am I gonna solve this? But the second and third and fifth and millionth time it happened, I already knew how to solve the issue. So every time I was like completely calm, like, okay, it's time for this again. And then when the issue appeared, I solved it. We'll see if I disclose what the issue is. Depends a lot on, well, it depends on extremely many factors, honestly. No, it doesn't, but it depends on factors that I cannot disclose, okay? That makes sense. Yeah, this is almost going to be going on for 30 minutes, which is great. I'm sweating a lot right now, because it makes me feel weird doing this, and this stuff doesn't help, and I need to close the doors and such, and thereby, you know, the oxygen and heat regulation stops working in this room. So, you know, you become sweaty, and you feel like you're sick. I feel like I'm sick right now. Like I'm ill. Maybe I am, who knows. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. You can see that, can you? Wow, it's such a small effect. I was actually using my tongue. Please take that out of context. Yeah, what else is there? There are so many things, really. I can think of so many things. Light is one of those things that it's so weird, right? Scientists, it's such a fundamental thing as well. Like, from the moment you're born, even if you're blind, you still experience light in some way. You need vitamin D from the sun, and you experience radiation from the sun as well. For some reason, I'm thinking that the anti-vaxxers are going to come for me now. Not necessarily supporting or, opposing them, but, opinions are eventually going to shine through in this, and you may figure out another one thing or another. Anyways, light. So, despite this being such a fundamental thing, and such a thing that, is with you from second one and to second last, scientists don't understand it properly. Because sometimes light behaves like a wave, which is like sound and radiation, I think. Whereas, maybe not radiation, not sure. I don't know. There's this certain word, which I'm not sure what it's called. Future me, added it in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There we go. That's the word. Those are waves. Wait, hold on. Are they though? No, those are not waves. So there are sometimes light behaves like a wave, and sometimes it behaves like what I just said.
Particle, apparently.
And that's the weird thing, because it can't be both, and it can't be neither. Well, it can be neither. It's like the Schrodinger's physics. I don't know. I didn't try to say quantum physics, because that's not what it is. Well, it might just be. It's probably affected by that, because everything is affected by quantum physics, because they're weird. Okay? Quantum physics... Man, I look like... Look at me! I look like the guy from... Ice Age. I look like Sid. I actually look like Sid right now. That's so weird. Look at my eyes. I look like Sid. Anyways, this has been going on for more than enough, and thereby this is it for this episode. This episode is stupid, but that's the point. Because now I have another episode, and this was once again the first one I record, so I have no idea how the others are doing, and if my channel is actively burning. So, hello, and goodbye!